It's hard to believe that the whole world can go to war because of one man and his idea, but it really happened. One man once did one move that brought all of humanity into the bloodiest conflict ever. The whole world quickly became a warfield, the streets became trenches, the cities a wasteland, and millions of people died, tens of millions were displaced. Who is he and why did he do it? Hello guys. How are you? In today's video, we will talk about a man who started the bloodiest conflict in modern civilization with his move. What he did, and who talked him into it, and if he got what he wanted in the end. Stay with me and find out. If you don't already know that, and if you don't know, it means you didn't go to school. That was a joke. As always, before we go, I will ask you to click like, share and subscribe and support me that way. Let's go. Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, then Austria-Hungary in 1914. Morning, 10:45 a.m., June 28th. The column of vehicles moves along Apel's alley, along the very bank of the Miljacka river, somewhat too fast for an official delegation. The graf stift sports car, the second in the column, transports Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of the Habsburg Empire of Austria-Hungary, his wife Sofia and the Austrian governor in annexed Bosnia, General Oskar Poćorek. Driving through Sarajevo, convinced that he had come to friends, he never dreamed that 7 young men were waiting to kill him. Looking at the delighted world waving at him from all sides, it would be hard for anyone to guess that something terrible is about to happen. A group of assassins, organized by the notorious Belgrader dentist Dragutin Dimitrijevic, Apel, prepared an operation that in the early stages was directed only against Poćorek. However, when they hear that the heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary was coming, their plans changed and they started planning his assassination. An hour earlier, in the same street by the river, after 2 missed opportunities by his comrades, one of the 7 assassins who stalked the Austrian Archduke in Sarajevo that morning, Miljacka, throws a bomb at the car with the heir to the throne. However, the assassination attempt fails. The bomb bounces off the vehicle and injures many bystanders. Kabranovic tries to poison himself with a cyanide capsule and jumps into Miljacka river, but fails. Disturbed Franz Ferdinand and his wife decide to visit the wounded in this attack after a short reception in the town hall. Poćorek makes the decision that, for safety's sake, the route is changed and the column moves quickly, straight towards the hospital. However, the driver, Leopold Loika, makes a fatal mistake near the Latin Bridge. He turns from Apel over alley onto the old, previously planned route, into Franz Joseph Street. Poćorek realizes the mistake, shouts at the driver to stop the vehicle and go back. Loika tries in vain to do something. However, the vehicle stops completely in front of Moritz Schiller's pastry shop. And there, in that very place of all places on the planet, by the display window with sweets, one of the 7 assassins happens to be standing, thinking about what he might do after his comrades have tried in vain to attack. That is Gavrilo Princip, a thin, sickly young man of 19, a poor Bosnian high school student who studied in Belgrade for 2 years, a poet enamored with the Yugoslav idea, an atheist, a lost cause who sleeps in the hostels and hangs out with bums, rejected as a recruit due to poor health, accepted into the circle of assassins after several requests, and walking all the way to the south of Serbia. It is he, one of the most wretched people on the planet in terms of social status, the assassin in whom even Apel probably had the least hope, watches as the vehicle stops in front of him and finds himself face to face with the Austrian prince. It is that moment that will break the lives of millions of other people. Gavrilo Princip becomes a man who changes history. From his pocket he takes out a Belgian-made semi-automatic pistol, caliber .38, with the serial number 19074. Only this weapon will experience an extremely exciting fate in the coming decades. Without hesitating, while Loika misses the gas pedal, Princip fires 2 shots from a distance of only 1.5 meters, at Archduke Ferdinand and his wife Sofia. At the trial, it was established that Princip used the Belgian brand Fabrique Nationale M1910 semi-automatic pistol, caliber 7.65 x 17 mm, 32 ACP, and it was allegedly handed to members of Young Bosnia by Dragutin Dimitrijević Apis himself. Princip was sentenced to 20 years in prison for the assassination of Ferdinand and his wife Sofia. He was imprisoned in solitary confinement, where he slowly died of hunger and disease, beaten systematically, literally every day. Due to the inhumane prison conditions, his right hand was amputated allegedly for health reasons. He contracted tuberculosis and died in a prison in the city of Terezin in the present-day Czech Republic 6 months before the final collapse of Austria-Hungary. Despite the fact that the official authorities of the Kingdom of Serbia were not connected with this incident, but certain people in certain positions, members of the organization Black Hand, the Austro-Hungarian authorities took advantage of the new situation to issue an ultimatum to Serbia. The Serbian authorities responded positively to all points of the ultimatum, except for one that required the sending of Austro-Hungarian investigative bodies within the territory of the Kingdom of Serbia. The Austro-Hungarian authorities used this to declare war on Serbia. In a domino effect, the war between Austria and Serbia draws Germany and Russia, as well as France and England, and eventually the USA and almost the whole world, into one general, trench battle in which 65 million people will fight. Thus, in the next month, this crisis turns into the most terrible war that the world has seen until then. The world conflict, the Great War, will mark the entire next century and completely change the previous civilization. What would have happened if Princip had not pulled the trigger on June 28 is left to us to guess, although historians believe that the war would certainly have happened sooner or later. That would be all for today, guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to click like and share. If you want to watch more similar content in the future, click subscribe and support me. See you. The Explainator greets you.